All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews. We're back with season 3 of Santa Clarita Diet. I forgot this was coming out too. Things have just been really hectic, and I knew that there were some big shows coming, but I forgot that this was one of them. Hannah came out yesterday and today as well, and then you got What We Do in the Shadows just came out. And this is really like tripping up my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. reviews, but I can't not review this because every time the show has come around in the last 2 years, I binge through this, and at least this way I will have to take my time a little bit watching it, because I kill this in like less than a day. The last 2 years, it's just boom, over, and now I gotta wait a year. So maybe we can make this last a few days at least. And if you haven't seen, I mean, if you're watching this and you haven't seen the other 2 seasons, then what the fuck? But you definitely gonna be spoilers here, and we will be taking it one episode at a time. But this is season 3, episode 1. It is called Wuffenloaf, and like I said, full spoilers from here on out. I really dig this show, and this may not be the most popular thing to say, but honestly, for my money right now, this is a better zombie show than The Walking Dead to me, because I still care about the characters for the most part. Walking Dead, as of right now, I just kind of only care about a couple of people, and it just is dying for me. And if you've seen my Walking Dead reviews, I've tried. You know, I've dwindling on that, but we're not here to talk about Walking Dead. And if you don't agree with me, I know some of y'all watch Z Nation when Walking Dead's not on to replace it, and that show is definitely no Walking Dead, so don't judge too harshly. But this is a really funny show. I particularly love Timothy Olyphant in this, because he's usually kind of playing tough guys lately, and in this he gets to kind of be the wife to Drew Barrymore's like husband, the alpha and the omega or whatever, her alpha, and well, alpha, she's the alpha, and there's an alpha on Walking Dead right now. Okay. Anyway, before I get too off track, so she's come back to life. She's been killing people. They've been trying to figure out how to make this life work. At the end of last season, the cop played by Natalie Morales and found them out in the desert as they were trying to kill I mean, you can sum this show up just by saying this, that in this show there is a zombified severed head of Nathan Fillion. If that doesn't make you want to watch this show, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's fantastic. And he gets one of the best lines of the end of last season when all this stuff is going down, and he's a severed zombie head, and he goes, well, this is getting fucking weird. But anyway, yeah, she found them in the desert trying to put down Gary, played by Nathan Fillion, who again is great in this, even if he is just a head. But they convince her that Drew Barrymore's character Sheila died and came back to life, and now she smites people for the Lord. And Anne's a very religious person, and gets on board with the fact that Drew Barrymore is like a vigilante, killing for God. Now, it is kind of a, you know, Anne's character is a stereotype. There's a lot of stereotypes kind of in this show, but they're done in a fun way and not in a mean-spirited way. Because Anne may be kind of the annoying religious character, but she's not so far like one of these malicious kind of types. She's played, they write her so that she's not too far like in her attitude. But anyway, they come to an agreement, and now life can go back to normal. So that's where we start season 3, where now they have to find another Nazi to kill, because just saying those sentences, somebody has to go find another Nazi to kill and eat, because the meat that they got was rotted. Also, the little spider ball thing is not doing well, and that's probably some foreshadowing for future episodes to come. There'll definitely be something that gets called back. So they've got to go do that. And then you got to deal with Anne wanting to help. And this is kind of where it just kind of gets a little annoying, because Anne is, she may not be, her character may not be like a very in-your-face stereotype of like a religious person that's kind of going off on a little zealot mission with these people, but the whole always trying to hide, a secret from one of these kind of characters, where they're always written to try to get in your way without knowing it. Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna get a glass. And you know that in the cupboard where you say you're getting a glass is something that you need to get, so that that you don't want the other person to find. And that person's always like, well, I'll get you the glass. No, I'll do it. It's my house. I really insist. That kind of character that is just always insisting and insinuating themselves into the situation to complicate the lives of the protagonist. And I don't really like that in anything. And so I don't really like it here either. But for the most part, the writing is good for all the characters. They've got so many good lines in this. When they misquote the Bible and she's like, wouldn't that be funny if that's the thing we go to hell for, misquoting the Bible? That's a good line. So they end up going over to this guy's house by asking Anne where to find him, because now that she's on board, she wants to help them with their holy crusade. So she finds the address to the Nazi. Meanwhile, at the beginning of this episode, Goran Viznik from or as ER, I guess. I'm kidding. I always call it but Goran Viznik is in this as a Russian military guy who's studying zombies and has to come to Santa Clarita because his zombie died, or killed himself, rather than be experimented on. And so now they're in the suburbs with their own little shady agenda that Timothy Oliphant's character, Joel, he's trying to look into it. So now they know that people are looking into their thing. And they go to the Nazi guy's house, and they know. Now the Nazis know that they're the ones taking out their guys. They want, he's supposed to keep them there while they all come and they take them out. Again, some really funny asides from Barrymore and Oliphant, kind of switching up the gender roles here, telling him to get behind the couch because he's really useless. And her just biting through the dude. I loved it. I love that this, it's really funny. It then takes that dark zombie turn when you don't expect it. Or even when you expect it, it's just kind of, after having like these serious, funny lines and scenes, to just go for, severe graphic violence is really, really funny. And it's one of the things that does help the show, because the show does have cliches up the ass. Like the person listening in the other room misconstruing things, like the one kid's mom thinking that Abby and Eric were having sex, and so they have to pretend that they are, because they don't want to. They think that anything else would mean admitting that they blew up that tank in the desert. But it's like, no, you just say something else. But no, I mean, always in these situations, the characters have to lie and then snowball until it gets insane. In this case, though, I feel like their lie is driving them closer together without, because he's in love with her and she says she likes him a lot, But I feel like eventually this is just kind of, by lying about their relationship, they're actually getting closer to actually having a relationship. And this isn't one of those, I try not to be a shipper too often, but it would be cute. They do have really good chemistry together. But after they kill the Nazi guy, Anne comes, and now they've got the wrinkle. They involved her to get them out of the jam that they were in, because the other guys were going to were there to fight them, which I don't believe. If you thought your buddy was dying in there, even Nazis would break down the door and glass. So, I don't know. That felt a little off. But Anne gets there and they run off, and now she wants to take the body and bury it because she doesn't know the one detail that is, she's eating her victims, and that you don't want, she doesn't want to, you know, tell her that part, because then she won't think she's doing it for God. But then we also find out that Anne's already been telling people, and she's got her own little, like, group of followers that can't keep their mouths shut, that have already started to tell their wives. And so, yeah, it is starting to go that route, though, at the end of this episode, where you can tell this is just going to be bad for everyone. And that's about it. Wuffenloaf is a good jumping off point, and yeah, I'm really tired this morning. I just donated plasma, so I'm a little out of it. So I'm sorry if this review is not as coherent as usual. But I really wanted to knock one of these out before I went to work, just to kind of get myself ready to keep going tonight when I get home. So anyway, that's this review. I really like it. One little tiny moment that was really great was when Timothy Oliphant's Joel goes into the, like, Serbian or whatever consulate, the Russian consulate that he's there. I don't even know. It's not a consulate. He just walked into, like, I don't know, wherever he was, but he puts his pen up when he's talking to them. Like, he says, I'm a whatever. And I love that the pen is supposed to represent, you know, like, I'm important. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I am who I am because this pen. I just love that little moment. They don't say anything about it, but you know that that's a prop that the character, purposely brought with him and purposely used it like that to make himself seem more important and more believable. I love that. I love it so much. And that's it. So anyway, if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit the bell for all notifications. I promise I will be more with it later on when I'm not when I'm more hydrated and not having just come back from donating plasma, which is funny considering the show I'm watching. So anyway, this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying have a great day, and we will be back with another episode later on tonight. Bye.